What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for MicroStrategy Incorporated with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So MicroStrategy, a nice little bounce today of about a couple percentage points, but who knows how long this will last. As of right now, price is still consolidating. Like I said before, it's in a compressing range pattern. So we have a downward trend line in play, we have upward trend line in play, so the volatility is compressing. Eventually it will probably break out higher or lower. It's not going to trade sideways forever. In this case, it's looking like price could see that drop down lower to the 245 level or the 247 level, because whenever price is trading sideways near a level that it cannot break, that's not a good sign. You want to see price get rejected from a level. For example, see when price came to this trend line, it got rejected. It bounced up higher. Same thing right here. It bounced up higher quickly. In this case, price is hanging around this level, which is not a good sign. Just like for the bears, price got rejected from this level. It wasn't hanging around that level. So in this case, it could be indicative of a small drop coming in the future, maybe something like that. Again, it's just a possibility. We can also not do that and just move up higher towards this bearish trend line right here at the 375 and possibly break it to reach the 400s. Who knows, right? There's a time to be bullish, there's a time to be bearish, and there's time to be neutral. So right now, it's a time to be neutral. It can go either way. As you can see here, it's not really you can't really make a strong case for either direction right now in the short term. All this looks to be dominated by the bears, but all of this right here is dominated by the bulls. So just have to see how this plays out. Bitcoin struggling to break out, but again, how long is that going to hold? Most likely it will break out. And same thing for MicroStrategy. Earnings report is coming out very shortly as well, so that also adds some indecision in the market. So we might just see continued sideways trading, probably till that earnings report. But if price does break down lower before that, that could be the catalyst to see price maybe have a short trap. A lot of times you'll see that if price breaks out early, it'll trick traders into thinking, oh, that earnings report will come out and dump prices even further, thinking like we're going to get something like that. And then all of a sudden you see price dropping, earnings report comes out, and then boom, it reverses. So you might see that too as well. Same thing for the upside as well. Sometimes we'll break out thinking we're going to succeed, and then our earnings report comes out or some big catalyst, and then you see a drop. So we'll see what happens. As long as price is trading sideways, then you won't probably see that fake breakout. And even that earnings report can also do a fake breakout as well. Sometimes you might see price trade sideways, earnings report comes out, fake or dump down, and then following days reverse. So you could see that as well. Either way, just to summarize, just to keep it simple for you guys, we are consolidating on the support side of the trend line, which is not a good sign. A lot of times that can lead to a drop down lower. If we do drop down lower, this measurement target has been in play basically since early December, targeting the 246 level, 245 level. So that is a bearish target in play. If somehow we do continue bouncing off the trend line and push up higher, I'm looking for the downward trend line to be the next target at the 378, right around here. And then if we break that, obviously we're going to come back up to the 400s, 441, and probably the prior high at the 543 level. And this high right here is kind of a trick because look how long price stayed there. Basically for one day, you can see how it started at the 540s and then it closed right down at the 390s. So this was just like you could say an outlier. Let's say just ignore that. Let's say this is kind of like the high right here. Anything above it was probably an outlier because this is where the majority of the resistance is at right now. So this is just like an outlier, just a couple of days where price got super emotional. This is more of this is actually technically the prior high, but all I'm trying to say is that, kind of ignore this for right now and just say that, hey, like once we clear the 440s, that's what we need to clear for a nice bullish price action to develop, a nice bullish trend to develop. So that's what I see on the daily chart, just more sideways trading, not expecting anything to happen today. I mean, it can, but just not expecting it to. Either way, I gave you the analysis if the price does break down lower or if it does find support and push up higher. Earnings support just right around the corner, also having some indecision as well for the price. Looking at the weekly chart, this is the regular scaling. You can see that price is compressing. Looks kind of like a fish. You can see how we have, a trend line like this, a trend line like that, and then, you have the eye. So it kind of looks like a fish. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of funny. Either way, you can see that price is it's just consolidating. This is a good sign though. Let's go look at the log scale. That gives like a better overall picture of the current state for MicroStrategy. So let's remove all the drawings and let's go over what's been happening since January of 2023 when we have this cycle in play. You can see that when price came back to that EMA, it went below it slightly. So for example, when price pulled back from his high to the low, it pierced the EMA just like right over here. This one slightly pierced. This one did definitely pierce. This one pierced the EMA. So as you can see, it's breaking through that blue line. So these pullbacks have been breaking through the blue line. Even back over here, it broke through the blue line. As of right now, we haven't seen a break of this blue line. So that could be in the cards of occurring in the future. So maybe a break of this blue line, the EMA. There is also a gap on the weekly chart right here at the 267 level that can be filled as well. So there is this empty space between these two candles. Price attempted to fill it completely but failed. So maybe that's what price is waiting for. Maybe we don't completely reach the 245 level, probably the 271 level, and then we see price continue higher. So it does make sense why we're seeing price continue to consolidate lower. There's a gap that can be filled. We have a measurement target lower. Price in every single almost basically every single pullback has pierced through that EMA, as you can see here. So let me circle it right here slightly, right here, right here, right here slightly, right here, and we haven't done it anytime yet. So again, we're probably going to be piercing that EMA, fill in the gap, and then probably see the rally develop. Overall, still looks like a nice strong uptrend, in my opinion, because of a measurement target still being in play. One leg up right here, second leg up, targeting right around that $1,500 price target, probably sometime this year. And then obviously, like before, price above the trend lines. So previously, price was following this angle of attack, as you can see here. And technically, it's still kind of respecting it. But in this case, price cannot reach the lower side of the range right here. So that lends me to believe that we are seeing a steeper trend play out. So if you adjust the trend line and the channel, something like this can form. And what do you know? When price hits one side of a channel, it will try to work its way to the upside, and the upside is right around here at the mid 200s. So I wouldn't be shocked to see, price continue to drag out lower. It doesn't have to continue to trade sideways this long. We may just see a steeper trend develop. Like I said before, this does not have to be reached. So, for example, there was a gap right over here between this trend line and the price, and now we are in a steeper trend line. And now we can develop another steeper trend line. So we may just see another gap between the price and this trend line develop. So again, overall, still looks pretty bullish. Nice uptrend in play. Price making higher highs, higher lows above the bullish trend lines. We have the measurement target in play. So overall, like I said before, short term is dominated by the bears, but long term is dominated by the bulls. Most likely we will see higher highs in the future, and especially with Bitcoin going up. I don't see how a company holding more than 2% of a finite supply, if Bitcoin doubles, how would that not help MicroStrategy at all? And I don't see how the market would not also calculate that in as well. So if Bitcoin's going to double, MicroStrategy should at least double, for the stock price. If it doesn't exceed Bitcoin, then it's extremely disappointing because you're taking on that excessive, more risk, and you want more reward. And if Bitcoin is not, if MicroStrategy is not outperforming Bitcoin, then that's a very bad sign. And it needs to do that over the long term. In the short term, yeah, you can, go back and forth. It's not a big deal. Every couple of weeks or months, it doesn't outperform. Maybe months it should, but a couple of weeks, couple of days, it's whatever. But long term, it should be outperforming Bitcoin or leading. So that's all I have for MicroStrategy in daily weekly charts. Gonna have to just wait and see what happens, how this plays out. Are we gonna see continued sideways trading and a bigger correction towards this downward trend line, or are we gonna somehow stall out and maybe at the 240s, maybe something like that, and start a steeper trend line higher? That could also be the case. A lot of times you'll see price get steeper and steeper. Let's go back to this cycle right here. Price bottomed out, looks to be right around in March of 2020. You see that it was following this angle of attack. and then all of a sudden bulls went in this angle of attack, and then all of a sudden price went steeper, and then also there was another steeper trend line as well, and then a fifth basically steeper trend line. So you see how we're getting steeper, 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 steeper. So where are we right now? Generally, when how these cycles play out, we haven't even set the third angle. So we're still kind of respecting the second angle. So we're probably like, honestly, probably like right around here. If you were to say, where are we in terms of like a previous type of cycle? We're pretty early, I still think. Again, some people think we have topped. I don't think we have topped. I don't see it in the chart, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So we'll see how this plays out. But overall, it's just wait and see. That's all I have for MicroStrategy this week, and I'll give you guys an update next week, Monday. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.